Alright, guys, so I've been thinking about this movie way too much for a grown ass man to be, thinking about a children's animation movie, but we need to talk, so let's do that. Okay, so if you're thinking I'm gonna bring up the same sex kissing scene, I'm not. I really don't care. The main problem I have with this movie, guys, is the storyline. Essentially, this is the movie that Andy supposedly saw back in '95 that made him really want to get the Buzz Lightyear action figure. I believe it was in Toy Story 2. Essentially, guys, if this was the movie that he saw, I do not think Andy has a very good taste in science fiction. I apologize. I remember walking into the theater with high expectations. I mean, fresh off the boots of Toy Story 4, who wouldn't? And I was just thinking to myself, this is going to be amazing, this is going to be sick, whatever. Anyways, what ended up happening, guys, is essentially the movie starts off really strong. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but it starts off really strong. And then it just drags, and it drags, and it drags. And I'm not going to spoil too much, but Buzz is like in a constant cycle of sorts, constantly just doing the same mission, trying to prove himself worthy. It's the typical good guy with limitations type of story, trying to prove the impossible type of deal. It's a good cliche to go by, but I feel like if the movie hadn't taken place on exclusively just one planet, it would have just picked up a little bit more. Because like towards the beginning it was really good, but it kind of dragged, and it's like, I don't know. I wish the movie took place on more than one planet, because it does have somewhat of a Star Wars aesthetic. Honestly, the movie looks beautiful. We'll talk about visuals next, but yeah, I was kind of shocked with that. Just one planet, kind of lame. As for visuals, this movie looks beautiful. I mean, honestly, guys, the last Pixar film that looked this good, in my personal opinion, was Incredibles 2. I mean, and that movie blew my socks off. But with Lightyear, this is essentially the movie that Andy saw all the way back in '95. And I don't know why a lot of people are like, oh, I want the old Buzz Lightyear look back. Well, this is essentially how Andy would have viewed it, in the cinema as a live action film. And that's why I feel like they went with the semi-realistic look. And I dig it. Honestly, I dig it. The textures on the environments, the terrain, the surfaces, is just beautiful. The environments pop. Everything looks so believable, yet very fictional in the Pixar fashion. Not only that, but the creatures look amazing. There are some really cool insectoid aliens, a lot of cool alien ships, robots, and there's just so much detail put into every frame of this movie. It's outstanding in the visual department. There's nothing lackluster whatsoever about the visuals here, guys. And don't even get me started on Zurg's new design. He looks awesome in this film. Not only that, but the gadgets used in this movie, they kind of look Blade Runner like. They have that very 1980s inspired retro look to all the little gadgets and all the mechanisms that Buzz toys around with in his ship. I just love it. The art style in this film is just unbelievable. Guys, this movie has me at mixed emotions right now, guys. Honestly, I am essentially a wreck right now. Just thinking about how I'm going to come up with this final verdict, but I think I've got it. So, the story is acceptable. Okay, it really does drag in the middle. It's not bad, though. Like, the cinematography is not bad. It just drags, Just because a film has pacing issues doesn't essentially mean that the story is poorly written. No, there should have just been, for the 100th time, more planets. More planets would have really, helped pick up the action a little bit. And I'm really sick of the fact that, guys, incoming spoilers, so just skip 15 seconds ahead. There is only one planet in the whole movie. There is only one planet in the whole movie. It's like you had so much to work with, and I guess maybe they're saving it for sequels, but I came into this movie expecting just this feast of just different worlds to enjoy and just to take in, but we only got one. Just deal with it. So, yeah. Speaking of the story, let's touch on that again. Zurg, the main villain of the Buzz Lightyear universe, that's not a spoiler. You already know that the bad guy is Zurg himself, you know. He's a really likable version of this character, honestly. I personally love this version of Zurg. Aside from the cool design, he is quite evil. He is quite vile, as all villains are. But he has an understandable motive. You do really feel his pain. And they really made Zurg somewhat likable, somewhat understandable, especially to an older audience. So, I could kind of relate to him in this movie. Maybe I'm evil. Who knows? Anyways, though, yeah, some great heroes and great villains to complement them. Overall, guys, I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. I am disappointed. I was expecting a home run type of film, a 10 out of 10 film. That's not what we got. But you know what? There is always room for a sequel. There is always room for a trilogy. One shot is not all you get these days, with Hollywood constantly pumping out sequel after sequel, especially with these animated features. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stick to the 7 out of 10 review. Thanks for watching and take care.